Sure.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Carullo's Corner here at it'sallaboutScores.com. Tonight we have the head coach of the Salem Rams, Kemp Carr, on with us. Kemp, tell us a little bit about the 2025 Salem Rams.
First of all, Joe, thank you for having me and doing this.
My pleasure.
Back for South Jersey football, and we greatly appreciate it. And thank you for asking me to do it. 2025 is going to be much better than 2024. I can guarantee that. We had a great off season. It was amazing. I think we took a step forward. We definitely moving the needle. We've taken a lot of tours. I think our guys have really hit the weight room and really start to understand what the dynamics is that I want this football team to look like. So I'm looking forward to 2025.
Yeah, I'm looking forward for you as well. I noticed during the off season, you got kids doing a lot of work in the community, which is not only good for the community, it brings camaraderie and to the team, which I think is very important. A lot of people that have never coached might not realize how important that is behind the scenes, and I think that's awesome. Going into the season, what are you most excited about heading into the year?
Hey, for instance, we had 30 plus players down there working at a great event tonight for the city. And those guys did not once say that they didn't want to be there.
Awesome.
Um, we got they understand that they have a lot of little brothers looking at them, and I want Salem football to make a positive impact, make a splash. I think Coach Wright did a great job while he was at Salem, and we're just trying to carry that torch and take it up another notch. The gentlemen are excited. We did on Monday. We actually went and did a community day for our youth football for the junior Rams, and we had 35 plus players, down there being active, working with their younger brothers. So we're excited about those type of movements, and the kids are starting to get the gist on what we want to look like, what the icon that we want them to be, and we want to be relevant, but not just relevant for football because it's bigger than sports for us. We want gentlemen to understand that we want good young men because one day they're going to be a father. Right now, they're somebody's son, and we want them to understand that it's important to do the right things when nobody's looking. That's what we're trying to emphasize mostly, and just trying to save lives, and trying to make sure that they get in school, and that's our focus.
All right. Also going into the season, what are your concerns? Anything that's bothering you, has you a little hesitant? Anything you have to, any hurdle you think you have to get through?
We got to win a game, right? That's the number one thing. We got to win a game. We got to get that taste in our mouth. It's no different than where I've been in the last two stops that I've had. Um, you have to grow inside the building before you grow outside the building, and
Right.
that's act first inside the building. So we're looking forward to getting off that snob, and the guys are excited to play football. So we're looking to just mature, grow, develop, and have young men understand that it's bigger than the game, and that it's important for them to do the right thing all the time. Football just happens to be the bait that catches the worm, or the bait that actually catches the big fish. But we do want them to know that your football is going to end for you. What are you going to do when football ends? That's most important. And we want them to understand that being a good neighbor is more important, and being a great person is more important than being a great football player.
Totally agree with you. Moving forward, who do you have returning? Some of your major, should be your impact. Who should be some of your impact players coming in this year?
Well, I'm excited. I'll start with Caden Robinson. The maturity level has grown immensely for this young man. He was a two-way starter for his last year. I think his hands have improved tremendously. He's gotten physical. He's gained about 10 to 12 pounds. So we're looking for that. He's actually taking it, he was a 70% guy. Well, he ain't a 70% guy no more. He's taking everything we do within the weight room, the structure of our program, and he's being a leader. And we have Antoine Roger, 6'5", 240, put on about 25 pounds of muscle.
Awesome.
Eating the right way, being focused, being a leader. He's a kid that is an offer kid, has committed to Temple um, about a month ago. So we're excited for what he has to do. We moved him from tackle to tight end, so we had some shifts. I'm excited for a kid that's coming in by the name of Desmond Thomas, who's at the helm right now at the quarterback spot. So I'm excited about him. Uh, he was he actually is originally from Salem, and he came back to Salem. So I'm excited for him to see what he does under the helm. He looks really good. Again, strong, good presence, good leader. I'm really excited about some of our young guys as well. That's coming in. We got some exciting freshmen that's coming in. That's going to make some noise, I believe, and look like they're varsity ready. But we won't know until the pads go on, and those, they can they take the hit? Can they understand the speed of the game? So it's a lot we still have to identify with to know where we are. But we have a great group of guys overall. A good mixture of older guys and younger guys. So I want to see that cultivate and see what happens.
All right, great. And I had asked Coach Thomas this from Pittman earlier today. Um, Putting you on the spot here a little bit. You'd mentioned a lot of the younger kids had seen the older kids today, and you have some freshmen coming in. Well, what's the future look like next couple of years?
Very bright. I'm very happy by that. The smile on my face should.
I could say that.
One is we're spending a lot of time down with our youth program. We
That's what
kind
it
of
means.
we want this to be a Ram family and not a two different organizations because it's all under one hub, which is Salem Rams football, even though they're Salem Ram junior football. So I'm excited about that. The younger guys have taken football very serious, and they haven't lost too many games down there, the younger guys. And I just think we're going to just continue to get better and better and better, and we're going to find things to do for these young men. I always said if I ever got back in the game, what would I want a coach to do for me as a player in today's football game? And I'm trying to do all those things that those guys want.
All right, awesome. Then, Coach, I got just a couple more questions for you. You look at the history of this program.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the 80s, Salem was a dominant program. Took a little step back for a while, as you know. Then Coach Wright came in, brought them back up, I'd like to say several notches. Came close for a while to winning a championship, but didn't do it. Then all of a sudden, bang, two back-to-back championships. We can definitely say Montre Wright put the program back on the map, safe to say. Last couple of years, you guys fall off a little bit. How do you deal with the pressure, knowing that, I mean, the past is past, future is future, but those echoes are always there. How do you approach all that? Like knowing that, you're going to get better with every year. I know for a fact you guys will. I know what your work ethic is, but like how do you deal with that pressure, knowing what the ultimate goal is? Like they that there's going to be people out there looking for you and the team to bring even greater things to the community.
That's expectations in any program, right?
Not all of them. You'd be surprised.
Out though, hear me out, right? That's expectations for any program, but you skip from the 80s to the late 2000s, right? So you skip the 90s and all of that when I played. So you got to one thing you got to remember is I'm alumni, right? So I understand the DNA. It's my bloodline. I lived there for 35 years. I still know a lot of people in the town. Of course, we have high expectations. I hate to lose at anything I do. So of course, I'm going to work my tail off to make sure that those guys are working their tail off, and I'm going to be the example of what it takes to get back. So my effort, my energy should be what they radiate off of. They should have the identity of the head coach. As I said before, Montre did an excellent job in that coaching staff. There's no about it. I was there on many days as well. We are going to be a team that people are going to come and watch. It's going to be fun how we play. That's one thing. Okay. Two is I know how to win. Right. I have a DNA for winning. Everywhere I've gone, we've had success. Sometimes things takes a little longer, but Kemp Carr is always the person that says it's like Novocaine, give it enough time, and it works. So we don't worry about what people say. We worry about how we handle our business inside the locker room, inside the classroom, inside the weight room, and then we exemplify who we are. People just come to watch the game. Of course, they're spectators, but they don't see the work that's being put in and day out. They don't see the drive that these young men have. Nobody wants to lose. Everybody's out to win. And I'm bringing a DNA that it's a championship or nothing. It's not about just making the playoffs. But again, like I said, we have to get that taste of winning that first game. and then we'll move forward from there. That's the first and foremost. So yes, there should be high expectations. I always want high expectations, but pressure ain't never been a problem for me in anything I've done. I've come from the bottom, and where I am is a different world than where I was.
That's
And I'm
all.
trying.
As I was going to tell you, I do remember the teams from the '90s. I did, we're having a little audio issue here. I was saying I do remember the teams from the '90s. There were some great teams as well. I didn't want to spend too much time talking about teams from the past. Uh, I know your work ethic as good as anybody. I know that you can win another state title at some point in time, and as our friend Montre Wright did, brought that program back to prominence. And I do believe you can do that. And you guys are a program that many people like to come and see. And I'm gonna have to be out there this year checking out you guys at that new field, which I haven't seen yet.
I can't believe you haven't been down to see that. I thought you would have that scratched off by now. So make, make sure you come down. We got a beautiful stadium, a big jumbotron, a good, unbelievable sound system. We're gonna take advantage of what we have from a technological standpoint this year, and we want people to understand when they come to Salem that it's gonna be a vibe, and they're gonna feel the presence. And we're gonna try to play the game the best way we know how and play the game the right way. So that's who we are, and I tell the kids all the time, you got talent. We need to bring discipline. Them two things is what equals success. So we're working on the discipline part, and trying to hone their skills and their talent and make them the best people and best football players we can.
Awesome. Well, before we go, I do have to ask you one question. Conspicuous by their absence, unless I'm wrong, the dog pound. What became of the dog pound with the new field?
We trying to build that legacy, Joe. We scratching the surface. We need to give them guys a spot, man. We need to. So we do have a neighborhood that is attached to the community, to the football field that's part of the community. So if those guys want to come and do their thing, we'll be more than willing to let that happen. But I think our biggest venue is our booster has done a spectacular job where we advocate for people in the community to come out and be part of our vineyardship that we actually have during homecoming. It was a thing to watch last year, even though we wasn't as successful as we should have been on the football field. But I could see it all coming together. I can see it all coming together. Like I said, the community is behind what we're doing. And guys is like, I know you're going to turn this thing around. So the projections are high. We're looking to have a lot of fun. And winning is fun, right? So that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. But before we sign off, a lot of people may not know what we're talking about with the dog pound. If you just want to take a minute, explain who and what they were and what they meant to your community.
At the dog pound at one time. It's basically the dog pound is a group of guys that love football. They love to have a good time. They're making a lot of noise. Got people that had never been to Selma, had to play in Selma, had to hear those guys barking at halftime, saying a little bit of everything. It was just a real good ritual that we had and tradition that we had. We lost that, but we got something new. And sometimes when you add new things on, you lose some things. So
sure.
They were more than willing to come out and make as much noise as they want. And people used to fear Salem because of the dog pound. Those guys used to say all kind of things. The fence was maybe like 30 feet, 25 to 30 feet right behind the stadium, and they was making a lot of noise. So hopefully they'll just bring that out to the high school and make more noise because we need it. We need all the support.
Well, hopefully we get to see them also this year. Listen, Kemp, I want to say thanks for coming on the show tonight. I'm definitely going to see you guys at your new field this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm going to hold you to that.
You can hold me to it. I'll be there. I'm going to come and check you out. Anyway, right. Everybody, it's Joe Carullo again at Carullo's Corner at it'sallaboutScores.com. Again, head coach Salem football, Kemp Carr. And stay tuned. In the coming days, we're going to have several more preseason videos with some other coaches in the South Jersey and possibly Central Jersey area. Kemp, thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Salute, my brother. Be safe. Love football. It's bigger than sports.
You too. I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, peace.